Welcome to the Hearse Whispers, where we give you an inside look at life in the slow lane and talk openly about the death care industry. We're here to pull back the curtain on what really goes on behind the scenes in funeral service, from the heartfelt to the humorous, the traditional to the taboo. There's a lot of misunderstanding out there, but the more we talk about death and grief, the more empowered we become. We're glad you found us, so please like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you'll be the first to know when new episodes drop. Welcome back to the Hearse Whispers. We are back today with more funeral industry news and topics. But first, as always, we have Dave here with some trivia or history, local celebrities.
Both.
Yes.
Okay, this is really big. I know last time we did it, it was really big too. So we only do really big things.
They just get better and better.
Better and better.
Yes.
Okay, you have to go back to 1878, May 22nd, 1878, in the Passaic River in Paterson, New Jersey, right by the Great Falls. Mr. John Holland, who was an immigrant from Ireland, he made the first trip in a submarine.
In the Passaic River?
In the Passaic River.
Wow.
I guess below the falls, it must be deep. And he went for 10 minutes under the water, and then he had to surface because they were having some problems. But he was the first person in history to go in a powered submersible.
Right here.
Exciting. Right here in New Jersey. He was born in 1841 in Ireland. And for all you Irish history buffs, in 1841 was the Great Potato Famine.
Mm-hmm.
So by the time he was 10 years old, he was so malnourished that he was almost blind.
Oh, my God.
So he couldn't see.
Wow.
So he came to the United States. He became a teacher. And he had sworn that he was going to make some kind of weapon that he could give to the Irish, that they could defeat the British. And he started to think of this submersible boat. So in 1878, he did it. And he had given the United States government his plans. He'd given them his plans for the submarine, and the Navy said, "That's not going to work, forget it." But he knew it was going to work, so he said, who would be interested in funding this boat to defeat the British? So he got an Irish terrorist organization called the Fenians, which I have been told that's where the word Feeney comes from.
Ooh, that's actually some good trivia.
That's really good trivia, but it's probably not true. But so he had his money from the Fenians, and then in May of 1878, he did it, and he perfected his submarine almost, and he called it the Fenian Ram. Oh. And they were going to use it to sink the Royal Navy. Mm-hmm. So and then in 1897, he kept working on this. And in 1897, he launched the Holland 6, which was powered by batteries under the water, and then it would have to surface, and the gasoline engine would power all the batteries recharged, just like submarines in the movies.
Just like if it had to come up for air, but except it's coming up to recharge.
Yes, it did.
Very cool.
So, but he died in August of 1914, which was just 2 weeks after World War I started. Mm-hmm. So the U.S. Navy was working on his design, and simultaneously across the Atlantic, the Germans were working on their own design because they had figured it out, I guess. Mm-hmm. So, but he is buried in Holy Sepulchre Cemetery in Totowa, New Jersey. That's today's history lesson, except one last thing. He founded the Electric Boat Company, which made submarines, and then that became General Dynamics, of course, after he died.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah.
So we got to see a little success, but not as much as went on. Still lives on today.
Yeah, he lived the dream. You can make it. But unfortunately, he died just before, he saw the success. So that's today's history, which is really good.
Yes.
Yes.
Very good. All right. So following along in the realm of cemeteries, we have a story about a historic Montana cemetery. And I think this is very crazy. So there was a 92-year-old sexton. So that's the person that takes care of the cemetery, grounds and records and all of that, right? Mm-hmm. And at 92 years old, you could imagine it was time for him to take a step away and retire. And it was his wish that his son would take over his position.
Okay.
And the cemetery board did not agree with that. And it does not say here why, but basically the son said, well, forget this. You're not going to get anything out of us then. And they ransacked the cemetery office, all the ledgers, all the note cards, kind of all the documents detailing everything, which went back to 1903.
Oh my gosh.
And it was a huge problem because, obviously families couldn't figure out where the graves were that maybe were unmarked or unused yet.
Wow.
Funeral homes didn't know what they, could do for it.
So they did everything. They took everything.
Yeah.
Wow.
So eventually the sexton's granddaughter tracks down where everything is. She enlisted the help of a private investigator, and they began the very long, arduous task of digitizing all of their records.
So is the granddaughter the new sexton?
Well, let's see.
Cemetery? I wonder.
I think she should be.
She should be.
After all that. But it brings up a really good point that, like, everything that we have today is digital. Even in our business, we can look up records going back to a point.
Sure.
On the computer. But then we also have records that are just on paper only.
Yeah.
And you would think it doesn't really matter to have somebody's funeral record from like 1940. But sometimes it does. Like sometimes we have families call us for like a genealogy request, or they might call us, just because they're reusing a grave that hasn't been opened in a really long time, just figuring stuff out.
Yep.
And whenever I get those calls, I always say, I'll just have to call you back because I actually literally have to go dig through some paper.
Yeah.
And I think people think that's kind of crazy because they expect me to be able to just do, right?
There it is. Yep.
But I can't imagine the project of digitizing even what we have that's kind of old now, but to go back to 1903.
1903. Unbelievable.
And, you could also look at it on the flip side and say, well, if you digitize it and then you got rid of all the paper, there's also that like fear about, like a computer virus or some kind of problem where all of a sudden your stuff is gone.
I think kids today wouldn't even think of that, but I would.
Yeah. No, I don't think so. No. What papers do kids today have? Come on, kids today. Get in the comments and tell us. Do you have anything on paper?
Kids today. But one of the first things I always think of is you should have some sort of paper backup. But then you have a flood and all the paper gone. So
it could go like either way. It has either way. But anyway, that is some interesting facts about
that is. That's I can't imagine if they had to have a burial there during the time when they couldn't find anything.
Oh, I don't know.
What do you say? I don't know. Or maybe the family would have to go and actually point to the grave.
Yeah, but even then, like if you purchased a grave, you have a plot location, maybe. Like you should have a deed with that on there. But who's to say that that's really your grave? Like there's a lot that needs to be verified behind the scenes in the office before they do that. And if it's never been used before and it's new, would you really remember? Like if you bought something 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Oh, it's kind of by this tree, but it's also like on the road. Like I wouldn't be sure about it.
There was one cemetery where the priest 100 years ago would just walk with the family and they'd say, "This is a nice spot," and they would just put the burial there. There'd be no records. They're very loose records.
Right.
And if we ever had a funeral in that cemetery, the poor lady on the other phone was always like, "Oh my God, not there! No.
It's full. So it can't move.
We don't know what we're doing there."
Yeah.
But so you should keep good records.
Keep good records. That's the point.
Yep. And it's still amazing to me that you can go to a cemetery and in the middle of a field they have dug a grave exactly where it's supposed to be. That's still
right.
And I know they have the different ways of measuring, but it's just still amazing to me.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not an exact person.
Well,
so I'm kind of a general person.
It doesn't work for cemeteries.
No. Dave's cemetery would be closed pretty quick.
Yeah, Dave's cemetery would be full.
Yeah.
No
Didn't
room.
think anybody was there, but so.
All right. So what else we got?
Well, we have one story that I took off of the internet, which pertains to well, just a lot of people. There are now they have funeral clowns.
What is a funeral
A
clown? I
funeral
ask.
clown. They date back to Greece. Okay.
Okay.
There's my notes again.
Mm-hmm.
Roman Empire, sorry. And they were called archimimes, archimimes,
Mm-hmm.
which is archi for chief and mimos for mimic.
Mm-hmm.
So what they would do is they would be at the funeral and they would dress up like the person who died,
Oh.
dress up like them. And I guess they would have spoken to the family and they would have gotten mannerisms and how they spoke and what they would have said. And they would have been that person. So this whole article says, it sounds crazy, which it does, but they say it's just takes the place. What has taken its place now are the videos that are at every funeral, because you have a video of the person.
Right.
There's pictures of the person that show what they look like, and the videos show the mannerisms. And so the clowns are making a comeback.
Really?
That's what they said. They're making a comeback in Europe. Of course, the comeback might be 3 clowns a year.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But they interview a clown, and sounds kind of funny saying that.
Yeah. A mime.
But this clown says he hopes to create a comfort zone for the mourners. So a comfort zone of seeing the person, I guess. And
yeah.
But I don't know exactly how it works. I don't know if the clown is like in the front of the visitation chapel.
Does he like greet people and say like, thank you for coming to my funeral? Like
yeah. Get this clown out of here.
Get this clown out of here.
But I don't know if people yell, tell a joke or sing a song, because he used to sing. I mean, I don't know that part about it. But if anybody knows, we'd love to find out.
Yeah. But also, how do they become everybody? They're like a chameleon. They become
just talented
everybody.
Actors and
They're just
actresses.
very talented. Yeah.
And apparently they get very well paid.
I would think.
And psychiatrists have said that there could be a place for the clown.
That is really...
And the last question of the article, because it was written for funeral directors, is, would you hire? Would you use this service? So I think I like everything, but I would have it on a piece of paper where if somebody said, Dave, have you heard of a clown? You say, oh, sure. I have this clown over here. And
right.
So, but I don't think I would ever push it.
To me, it's very odd.
Yeah.
But it's not about me.
That's right.
It's like if a family wants it and they are interested in it, then we're here to help them.
We're here to help.
Figure it out and get it for them.
Yep.
But I guess it's extra odd now because to your point before about how when it started in ancient times, there were no videos or photos or anything. Like now we can see the real person.
You can see them.
Or maybe this is like when they have people and they like recreate them with AI.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Maybe it's something like that where you can be like a hologram of the person.
Oh, yes.
I've heard of that before for sure. Like, didn't they do that for Joan Rivers or something? There was someone that they made like into a hologram, and with AI, they can duplicate your voice and everything. So you can just kind of like be there in the room as a video. That's probably going to become something more popular than the clown.
And actually have them be speaking to the crowd.
Yeah, like it'd be like you in the room. Oh, that'd be so. So if you're like have an open casket and you're laying in the room, but then also there you are standing up, telling stories. Saying, like, hey, I look good.
Get these clowns out of here. Yeah. No, you're right. It would be different. And then probably within 2 years, everybody would be doing it.
Yeah, I think a lot of things are like that, right? They get started and they're weird.
Oh, yes.
We think they're strange. Yes. Families think they're strange. And then all of a sudden it just like gets traction. People see it once or twice and they think, oh, I like that. I could do that.
I remember when the putting poster boards with pictures first started.
Mm-hmm.
I said to my Uncle Jack, I said, we have to put these, they're bringing in picture boards. And it was new to me too. And my Uncle Jack probably was 60. Mm-hmm. He said, what are you talking about? I said, well, they're bringing pictures of the person in and we're going to put them on the, what? It was totally totally new to him.
Right.
So I think maybe I heard of it in school, but and my father too. They were like pictures, and then they came in and we did it, and it wasn't so bad.
And now what you would just, that's expected.
You expect
Whether it's a video or a photo, there's expected to be like those type of memories posted.
It's true. And now we have the videos and everything.
Yeah.
So what's next? Holograms.
Yeah.
Or clowns.
Or clowns.
I'll go with the hologram.
I think the hologram would be both creepy and like very cool because it would be you. It would be exactly yourself.
Yep.
Maybe they could do you like in decades. Like here you are as like,
oh yeah,
right? They have a photo of you when you're like a teenager, and then here you are.
Oh, I bet they can do that.
They
easily.
could absolutely do that.
Because I remember there was an old Michael Jackson video where I think the one face kept morphing into another
that's like,
face
and that's going back.
Whatever the song was, I forget. It's a good song, but but I think the holograms would be better than the clowns. Because what if you better get a bad clown?
Just imagine if you get a bad clown.
You get a bad clown,
like, it's just like,
literally someone's like, get this clown out of here.
Literally, it's a joke.
Yep. So, but that's the clowns.
All right.
Send in the clowns.
Send in the clowns. All right, moving from clowns to dirt now. Not really any good segue for that. So this piece of information in funeral industry news here is about collecting of graveyard dirt. So there are some cultures, specifically in Africa, that have come over here, and it is about collecting the dirt from the grave of someone to keep it, and they have it for different reasons. It's a form of spirituality that, they have this dirt being magical to them. There's power in it based on the person that is in the grave. So you want to collect. So
you get their power.
You get their power to you, right?
Okay.
But before I even go more into that, I'm just thinking to myself, what is the difference between having that and having cremated remains of a person? This story is about taking of dirt, keeping it, collecting it. In this case, it's a little different because you're collecting dirt kind of as an outsider. Like you may not be related to the person. Right. You might not be the family. You're kind of like robbing the dirt from the grave. And it goes on to talk about the legality of it. Like technically there's a little bit of a gray area. I mean, it's dirt, but you're taking it. It's not yours. Theft. It's stealing. It's theft. But then like, can you imagine anyone just taking some dirt and someone saying like, stop right there? Yeah. You can't take dirt. Like I can't see that happening. So I'm thinking of it more like it's the day of the funeral. There's a pile of dirt, which, is often covered by like a green, artificial grass. But you could very easily take a scoop. That's different than like going over to a grave and starting to dig down. Right.
I mean, it's different, but it's probably, if you were in court, they probably would make you sound like the biggest thief in the world. Right. If everybody is even throwing dirt onto the casket, like the Jewish people do, why couldn't you maybe, if they weren't shoveling it, if they were just throwing it, maybe just and put some in your pocket and then take another? That's probably theft technically, but technically is that, I guess it's the family's dirt.
Yeah, that's the part about it that I think is interesting. Like this article talks about how it is theft or desecration of a grave and all of that. But we commonly save or keep at home cremated remains.
Sure.
We commonly make jewelry from cremated remains that people wear.
Sure.
Again, it's usually the family, but I have had cases of people purchasing jewelry for extended friends and family with, small amounts of cremated remains. Again, the family's in charge. But to your point, like, what if the family said, okay, everybody, like, here we go. Have a little, it's a memento. It's I don't think it's any different than any other kind of little, like, piece of a person. And this is even further removed. It's dirt. I mean, there is belief that there is something magical or powerful about the dirt, which is totally fine, but it's not even part of the person like it would be if it was
But I
cremate
guess
remains.
I guess if they were a brave person and you wanted to get their bravery, I guess when they're buried, their bravery goes out into the soil.
Yeah.
So after this, one of our millions of listeners and viewers here
Yes.
is going to start selling dirt.
Selling dirt. Well,
Yes. Would you want the dirt off of so and so's grave?
oh,
$5. $5.
wow.
$10.
But I want to know, it doesn't really say here. Like you said, if the dirt is on, like, does it have to be close to the person? Because then you
I
have
think it
to
has to be
bury
their
the person.
grave. Their grave.
You have to bury the person and kind of get it out from the like.
Yeah,
what
no,
good,
no. I think it's just
Yeah, but what good is the dirt that hasn't? I guess it's close
it's getting
enough.
the vibrations, like you
it's
said, the
getting close enough.
vibrations. Yeah.
Okay.
It's getting it. Oh, sure.
Okay. Listen, there's something for everybody. And I think it's,
Yeah.
It does leave that legal gray area, but we do that with other things.
Yeah.
Makes
So
a lot of sense.
I'd love to see if there's ever a lawsuit. The charge, I mean, I think it's probably just a fine. Because how
Right.
can you really throw somebody in jail? What are you in for? Stealing dirt off a grave.
Dirt off a grave.
But I would just think it'd be interesting to hear the arguments.
Yeah.
The defense, the prosecution.
Right.
So to see what happens.
I would bet that if this ever became a widespread idea, it would probably just boil down to paperwork, like everything else that we deal with. Family signs that I will not be upset if people take some handfuls of dirt, because like you said, isn't really their
Dirt
on them.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a cemetery, but they bought the spot.
Yeah.
It's kind of like their dirt.
But then again, they only have the right of interment. It's not really their land. So.
Ooh, see, it even gets more involved. That's right.
The Hearse Whispers are legal minds.
Legal minds.
It's really interesting because to me, there's no harm if you have a spoon and you spoon a little dirt and put it in a baggie and you're gone. Right. But maybe there is harm if you become offended by that.
Absolutely. Or
what are you taking dirt off of so and so's grave?
Right. Or it starts out with a spoonful of dirt and then it turns into you're trucking away.
Yes.
Wheelbarrows full of dirt because for whatever reason you think you need more. Or whatever the reason is.
Crazy.
So that is crazy. But you know what this made me think of? Irish dirt. Tell us about Irish dirt because we've done that a lot.
Yes. We it's called a handful of home.
Yes,
handful of home. And they have dirt or peat or dirt from Ireland. And in Ireland, they, what do you do? What do you treat it? So it's germ free.
Yes.
And there's the word. It just went out of my head. But they sell it in cans like this. And, or we sell it in cans. And usually there's something about Irish people. If you did dirt from Italy, you would have every can you ever bought.
Yes, it doesn't there's
something about the Irish people that everybody wants a little bit of Ireland with them. So we've done it, and the people that we've done it with have loved it.
Yes. And we always make it a surprise. Usually.
Yeah, kind of surprised. Well, we have this, and everybody comes up and just grabs a little bit and throws it into the grave. So that person is buried forever with some Ireland around them. And it's a very nice idea, and I didn't mean to besmirch the Italians, but I think the Irish.
Yeah, watch it.
The Irish are the only people that would do it. I mean, really.
No, they do have. There is more of a connection to the soil. Yeah. Do you remember when you started doing that?
Just after Mr. Holland. No,
1897.
I think it was in the 2000s.
Okay.
It was at a convention, and they were selling. They had a nice sign, and I walked over and said, "Like, what are you talking about?" And they explained it, and of course, being Irish, I said, "Oh, that makes sense."
Yeah.
So we got some, and it was good.
But you know what? It's just like funeral clowns.
Yeah.
I mean, if somebody said, "I'm selling a can of dirt from Ireland," that you can.
Who would have thunk it?
People would say that's crazy. Like, who's going to buy a can of dirt? And we just talked about how great people they just love it. So Maybe there's hope for clowns.
Maybe there's hope for the clowns.
Just like dirt.
There is hope somewhere.
Yes.
So,
All right. Well, I think that wraps us up for today. Another episode of informing you about funeral industry news and ideas. So thank you for watching. Remember to hit the like button and subscribe, and we'll be back next time at the Hearse Whispers.